My name is Jessica Thoy. This is my third math cast. This is intended for a 6th grade audience, and the objective is to use figure out the volume with fractional edges, length, and unit cubes. Vocabulary. One of the vocabulary words I'm going to go cover is prism. So a prism is a 3-dimensional figure with 2 parallel congruent bases connected by rectangles. Here is a picture of a prism. So volume is how much does it take to fill. So to find the volume of a prism, it is length times width times height. So this is question 1. Answer the following question using this rectangular prism. So question A is, what is the volume of the prism? Which we could also figure out this by using length times width times height. So our problem would be 9 times 1 1/3 times 4 2/3, which would be 56 inches cubed, because volume is a 3-dimensional product, so it needs to be cubed. B. Linda fills the rectangular prism with cubes that have the side lengths of 1/3 inch. How many cubes does she need to fill the rectangular prism? So in order to find how many cubes will fit, you will take 1/3. In order to do this, you need to take the length, width, and height and figure out how many 1/3 will go into that. So in 9 inches case, 9 times 1/3, 9 will go into 1/3 27 times. So it would be 27/3 times 1/3, which will give you 27/9. But since we're paying attention to how many cubes there are, I am going to ignore the fraction on the bottom. So basically, we're going to just do 9 times 3 times 1, which would give us 27. And then we do the same thing for 1 1/3 and 4 2/3. Then we are going to take the answers to each of these and multiply them together in order to figure out how many cubes in total will fill this box. So we would need 1,512 1/3 inch blocks to fill this box. Next question is, how is the number of cubes related to volume? So if we take the volume and multiply it by the length, the number of cubes in the length, we will get the same number as the cubes that fill it totally. The next question is, why is the number of cubes needed different from the volume? It's because the cubes are not each 1 inch. The volume is different from the number of cubes, but you can multiply the number of cubes by the volume of 1 cube and still get the original volume, like we did in C. And then letter E is, should Linda try to fill this rectangular prism with cubes that are 1/2 inch long on each side? Why or why not? The answer would be no, because you have thirds on your height and width, so 1/2 inch cube will not fit into a 1/3 space. Next question, a box with the same dimensions of a prism in the opening exercise is used to ship miniature dice whose sides have been cut in half. The dice are 1/2 inch times 1/2 inch times 1/2 inch cubes. How many dice of this size can fit in the box? So if that purple thing is our cube, 2 cubes can fit in 1 inch across the length. So the length would be 20 cubes, because 2 times 10 is 20. In order to fill the bottom length, then 2 times 4 equals 8, which would get us to fill there. And then 2 times 6 equals 12, which would fill here. So we are going to go and multiply 20 by 8 by 12 in order to figure out how many dice we need to fill the whole box. So after multiplying those, we have 1,920. So we would need 1,920 of the 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch blocks to fill this box. This question asks us to calculate the volume of the rectangular prism using 2 different methods. And we're going to label our solutions as method 1 and method 2. So method 1, we're going to use length times width times height. We're going to take the length of the length, the measurement of the width, and the measurement of the height and multiply them by together. So if we simplify these into mixed fractions, we get 11/8 centimeters times 5/8 centimeters times 9/4 centimeters. And then we're going to multiply them together, which as a mixed fraction would be 495 over 256 centimeters cubed. So method 2, we're going to fill with cubes, and looking at our fractions on our sides, we are going to use 1/8 of a centimeter cubes. So first we're going to figure out how to get this 1/4 as an 1/8. And in order to do that, we multiply both top and bottom by 2. So that'll give us 18/8. So now we take the numerators of each of these problems that are over an 1/8 and multiply them together. So we'd have 990 cubes, not cubs, if I can spell correctly. And then we find that the volume of each cube is 1/8 of a centimeter. So we're going to multiply 1/8 together 3 times. And that gives us 1 over 512 centimeters cubed. Now we are going to take the 999 cubes and multiply it by the 1 over 512, which gives us 990 over 512 centimeters cubed. And if we simplify, it gives us 495 over 256 centimeters cubed, which makes our both answers the same. Again, my name is Jessica Thoy. This is my math cast. These are my resources. Thank you for watching.